It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
No fear, no fear, no fear here on Declare Your Independence. Good to be back home with everybody. Everything's in the right place. You know, well, we're getting all set up. We're putting up the video now. We're loading it in to the editors of my time with Butler Schaefer. Yeah, go ahead and turn this off. It's too loud, the fan. What we're going to go ahead and do is get that up probably by the end of the weekend. I spent 2 days in with, no, you can leave that one on. I spent 2 days with Butler Schaefer and Jane Schaefer and Brittany Schaefer, their daughter, that she was I didn't know this. I mean, I knew she wrote and she worked in some newspaper. I didn't know she was in Hong Kong writing for the Asian branch of the Wall Street Journal. I mean, this family's got skills. So one of his other daughters, she is, with her husband, has a bed and breakfast in the Midwest, and they, got all kinds of government stories on that one. And then they have another daughter in Beverly Hills as a family law attorney to the stars. So we got to see some of their grandkids and everything. We had a good time, and I've known Butler for over a decade, and it was nice to sit down and just get the full story. A lot of that you heard on the show, and then a lot of it you didn't. We have, after the radio show, we continued the discussion and got it on video, and we're going to have that available. And I think that's what I'm going to spend a lot more of my time on. I'm going to go ahead and try and make sure that a lot of the people that I know the history of a lot of things. We'll go ahead and get them on video, and we'll make that a part, because a lot of this we have in our Freedom Summits that we've done. If you go to freedomsummit.com, you'll see a lot of the great speakers that we've had that will give their perspective. And a lot of times, it was before it was obvious to the rest of America. That's why we did the Freedom Summit. Mark Victor and I, we had this idea every time we'd have to go around the country and sit through, a dozen. We spend more of our time outside of the room talking to other people that were far more interesting than whoever was speaking, because, politics or, blah, 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 blah. We didn't care. So what we did is we said, I'm tired of going to these things, and I want to talk to one guy out of 12. Can't we just have 12 guys we want to talk to, we want to listen to, we want to get a report from, our current status of freedom? Can't we just, get the best ones that are of interest to us? Yes, we can. And have all our friends come, and they can subsidize it and help pay for it, so we get a nice, free event. And, of course, we had to do a lot of work to do it, but, we have a nice event. The Freedom Summit was born. We've only missed 2 years, or 1 year. I think it was during the 2007 year. We didn't do a Freedom Summit because we were just busy. And it was right in the middle of the Lovolution and all that. And, I'm just like, look, man, what? We have to tell you what's wrong. That's what Ron Paul's doing. We're good. You don't need this current status of freedom. Yeah, we'll just watch the debate. So we kind of skipped that one. This year, we're thinking, we went on a Caribbean cruise with Mark and his bride. They did the beach wedding thing. It was very cool. And we talked about it. And we didn't talk very long. I mean, it's like on the plane ride or something. Oh, what are we going to do? I mean, this and that and so on. We could do a cruise. That'd be cool. We could do this. We could do that. We could make it expensive. We make it cheap. We can do it in the mountain. So we're thinking about it. And I don't know. We haven't made a decision yet. We're probably not going to do a Freedom Summit this year. And we may do it in the spring or something like that. And we're not going to force this stuff. We're really busy. A lot of stuff's going on. And the reason that we did it was to make sure that people knew where we are. Now, think about it. Our first one in '01 was 3 weeks after 9/11. We had been planning it for months before, and then we almost canceled it. But then we go, no. And Butler Schaefer he's been probably one of the most popular speakers, and in addition to being popular, one of the most frequent speakers because he was Mark Victor's law professor when he went to law school. So we're thinking about what we're going to do. I mean, we have other events, like Pork Fest is fun. You have the Wyoming version of their freedom-oriented come out. I can't remember what they call it, but it's kind of their Western version of Free State thing. Then we have Libertopia's coming up, where Butler Schaefer is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. So we'll have Freedom's Phoenix will be out there doing some stuff. The internet has really developed. Keep in mind, when we first started doing the Freedom Summit, DVDs weren't the main source of recording. It was VHS. When we were doing the Freedom Summit, most everybody had dial-up. Broadband was, kind of a wish, a hope, and a prayer. So all of this has changed the way things are happening. Like the Arizona Breakfast Club. The Arizona Breakfast Club, man, you had tons of people coming. We get good crowds. We'll get, 50, 80 people coming, on a regular basis. But, I mean, I remember it used to be, they met every week instead of once a month. And I would go, and there would be 100 to 300 people on regular occasions. They have to take a big, giant Elks Lodge hall to put all the people in. But the internet changed everything. Because of the internet, I'm shocked there's as many go there as there are. You get 50, 80 people in the room, you get some stuff done. So what's the future? Well, that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about, some of the activists and staff at Freedom's Phoenix tonight. We're going to be, okay, what's the next phase? We're going, it's time. We've known it's built up to this, and we're going to change a bunch of different stuff about how the advertising is and the radio show and, our Cafe Press logos and, start, some of the art and different projects that we have and such, and how we're going to make use of a lot of the things that we have. Like, we have really good equipment for doing video and documentaries and everything. We start doing some documentaries. There's people interested in that. So I'm going, there's a lot of things that we can do to accomplish what? Do you need somebody to tell you how bad things are when it's in your freaking face? Or you see somebody explain it to you? Or, can you get that from your friends on Facebook? I mean, at what point do you get to where it's just about hunkering down and just surviving it? Well, we made that decision a year ago. They're like, okay, now we're getting to the point where we just want to accumulate some knowledge. Here comes the e-zine, the digital magazine for Freedom's Phoenix. We accumulate a lot of this information. Look, you want to know about gardening and chickens and goats and there's this edition has a bunch of YouTube links on it, has a bunch of hyperlinks that go to different people that have more information. This is what we personally know. This is our experience over the past year and a half. This yada yada yada. So this is an accumulation of knowledge from people that think like you, from your friends. As right when we're thinking of me not doing 2 hours every day on the radio, September 2nd, we're going to stop that and try it. And that's one thing we'll talk about tonight. But all of a sudden, now there's some other radio stations, affiliates that want to carry the show. And I'm like, I'll think about it, but I doubt it. Because my thing is I'm going, look, there's another wave coming. There's another phase of this thing. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And we need to start thinking about how Freedom's Phoenix and the capacity that we have can be able to have the most people keep breathing in and out to survive what's coming. I don't think there's an appreciation for how bad it's going to get. Now, you'll have Alex Jones out there screaming and Gerald Celente, the death, dying, and destruction, and a lot of people, and they're right. Okay, I'm it's going to get a lot worse than people anticipate. But for some reason, it won't happen here. It's just a human thing. It's a, positive, optimistic outlook. But I'm just wondering, where do you got to go? I mean, how far away can you be just to be able to just survive? Well, I don't know. What we're going to talk about for the rest of this hour is a lot of just get you up to speed on some of the things I see happening in the news. And then the next hour, we have a British austerity and riots is the issue. And a gentleman from Britain is going to tell us why they think, and we'll have a discussion and how it might be coming here. It's a good day to listen. We'll be right back.